chemistry. We were studying the halogenated compounds, organic compounds. Now let us consider this individual compounds. Two compounds we are studying. One is chloroform. Chloroform. The formula for this one is CHCl3. Coming to the preparation of this chloroform, methods of preparation. Methods of preparation. The first method is from methane. When this is treated with chlorine in presence of diffused sunlight, chlorination will take place. First it gives rise to methyl chloride, then methylene chloride, and then it gives rise to chloroform along with the formation of HCl. To balance this reaction, you take 3HCl, 3Cl2. The next method is starting from this carbon tetrachloride. This carbon tetrachloride is subjected to reduction by using zinc chloride and hydrochloric acid, etc. Then the reduction, one chlorine will be replaced by the hydrogen to give rise to CHCl3 along with formation of HCl. Then third method is by the action of bleaching powder. By the action of bleaching powder. So this bleaching powder is nothing but the mixture of different compounds. The general formula for that one is CaOCl2. It is along with the water molecules. Then when this bleaching powder is treated with the compound containing the group like COH, the condition for this action of the bleaching powder is this O, CCO. This may be either double bond O or single bond O. If it is single bond O, then it should have either hydrogen, etc. So this carbon atom is free. So there are so many such compounds in which this condition is satisfied. This CH3CH2OH, that is ethanol. Similarly, we have this CH3CHO, acetaldehyde ethanol. Similarly, we have this CH3C double bond O CH3. So if this condition is satisfied, when you treat this with calcium oxychloride, that is bleaching powder, then this carbon atom is converted to chloroform, CHCl3. The remaining part will be converted into the corresponding carboxylic acid salt of calcium. So here we get, in case of the first one, we get HCOO Ca twice, HCOO twice Ca, calcium formate. So in the first case, we get chloroform plus HCOO Ca, twice Ca. In the second case, we get CHCl3, then we again get HCOO twice Ca. In third case, we get CHCl3 plus the remaining part is converted into calcium salt, CH3COO twice Ca. This type of reactions we can use in the detection of this, the alcoholic or aldehydic or ketonic group at the second position. So in the organic chemistry. But here we are using this for the preparation of the chloroform. Then coming to this properties of this chloroform, when this chloroform is further reacted with chlorine in presence of sunlight, it gives rise to carbon tetrachloride. Here the reaction giving rise to methyl chloride, methylene chloride, chloroform, and finally will give rise to carbon tetrachloride. The second method is by this CHCl3 chloroform, when it is subjected to air oxidation, it gives rise to COCl2. This is along with the formation of HCl. This is called phosgene. This is highly poisonous gas. So that is phosgene. That is usually used in the tear gas, etc. phosgene. Then third one is when this chloroform is treated with NaOH, hydrolysis with alkali, it gives rise to HCOO-Na along with the formation of NaCl and water. So here chlorine atoms of the chloroform will be replaced by the OH groups. And when those OH groups, more than one OH group is attached to the same carbon atom, it will lose a molecule of water. Finally, it gives rise to sodium formate. The next reaction is when this chloroform is treated with phenol, C6H5OH, in presence of NaOH, it gives rise to salicylaldehyde, C6H5OH and CHO. This type of reactions is named as the Reimer-Tiemann reaction. Reimer-Tiemann. Reimer-Tiemann reaction. So it can be used to prepare salicylaldehyde by treating with the phenol in presence of the sodium hydroxide. The next reaction is when this chloroform is treated with concentrated HNO3. One hydrogen atom will be replaced by nitro group CCl3NO2. This is named as chloropicrin. Chloropicrin along with the formation of H2O. So these are the various reactions in which we can convert chloroform into various other products. The last one being reduction. CHCl3, when subjected to reduction, it will give rise to CH2Cl2 along with the formation of HCl. So this chloroform itself is used to make the person unconscious. Okay, that is all about the chloroform. The next one is carbon tetrachloride. Carbon tetrachloride. This carbon tetrachloride, CCl4, can be prepared by using various methods. Some of the methods I have already told you in the previous topic. When chloroform is treated with the chlorine in presence of sunlight, it gives rise to CCl4. So CHCl3 plus Cl2 in presence of sunlight, it gives rise to carbon tetrachloride along with the formation of HCl. The next method is by using CH4 directly by treating with chlorine in presence of sunlight, excess of chlorine in presence of sunlight, it gives rise to CCl4 plus 4HCl. So to balance these reactions, we have to take 4 and 4, 8. Therefore, it is 4Cl2. But the most important reaction is by using this carbon disulfide. When this carbon disulfide is treated with chlorine in presence of FeCl3, it gives rise to carbon tetrachloride plus H2Cl2. This H2Cl2 is called as sulfur monochloride. Sulfur monochloride. So these are the various methods for the preparation of this carbon tetrachloride. Then coming to the properties of this carbon tetrachloride. The most important reactions I am writing. When this carbon tetrachloride properties, when this carbon tetrachloride is treated with sodium hydroxide. Again, when you treat with any chlorine compound with aqueous sodium hydroxide, it will replace the chlorine atoms by OH groups. And when 4 OH groups are attached to this carbon atom, it will give rise to HCOOH. HCOOH, which is converted into sodium formate. The next one is when this carbon tetrachloride is treated with any reducing agent like zinc chloride and HCl, it will give rise to chloroform along with the formation of HCl. This can be further reduced to CH2Cl2. Okay. The next reaction is when this carbon tetrachloride is treated with phenol in presence of sodium hydroxide. It gives rise to C6H4 OH COOH COONA. This is called as if you write COOH, it is called as salicylic acid. Salicylic acid. In the previous case, in the Riemann-Tiemann reaction, we get this salicyl aldehyde. Salicyl aldehyde. If you use chloroform, you will get salicyl aldehyde. If you use carbon tetrachloride, it gives rise to salicylic acid. This reaction is also named as the Riemann-Tiemann reaction. Riemann-Tiemann reaction. So this is all about the properties of this carbon tetrachloride. One more information regarding this chloroform. Reactions of the chloroform. When we use this C6H5NH2, primary amine. It may be either aniline or it may be CH3NH2 or any primary amine. When they are treated with chloroform CHCl3, they give rise to corresponding isocyanides C6H5NC. In this case, it is CH3NC. These reactions giving rise to isocyanides are also called as the carbylamine reactions. Carbylamine reactions. These compounds, isocyanides, phenyl isocyanide, methyl isocyanide, or any alkyl isocyanides, they are named as the carbylamines. The characteristic of this reaction is they are very much having obnoxious smell. Obnoxious odor, very very bad smell. So they can be very easily identified by their smell, and hence they can be used to identify or recognize the presence of the primary amino group in the organic compounds. So either aniline or methylamine or ethylamine or any aliphatic amines, when they contain primary amines, they can be treated with chloroform in presence of potassium hydroxide. They give rise to the gaseous isocyanides, which are having very much bad smell or obnoxious odor. So this is about the carbon tetrachloride as well as chloroform. In the next video, we will consider various questions, important questions based on the